we are back again with the Wrestling Fellas podcast. How are you doing, mate?
I'm fantastic, mate. Just come home from Benny and Benidorm. Loved it. Going back again in September.
See Sticky Ricky?
I didn't. We couldn't get close, man. It was warm. I really want to see it. But we went in and they were like, "Oh, the show's starting," and we're like, "What's the show?" I knew what the show was, but for the others, I was like pretending. They were like, "Oh, it's just a stripper," and they were like, "Oh yeah, buzzing, let's go in." Yeah, we couldn't get anywhere near it, mate. Women, men were all there, just wanting to see it. So I didn't see Sticky Vicky.
I have to go next time because you're going back.
I didn't see the Star Wars sex show either on a Segway, so.
Oh, mate,
see that
would have ruined your all day if it was me.
That would have been right up my alley with Darth Vader and that, but big Star Wars. But yeah, how are you?
Okay. Yeah, good, mate. Good. Just getting by, as you do.
As we do.
I'm trying to think what I've done this week. All between pods. I haven't been to Benidorm. I've been working. It's not my cup of tea, to be honest, mate. Benidorm, to be really honest.
I don't think it was mine, honest to God. And then I think because I've watched the program a few times, I've always been like, I want to go. Just go once, just to see what it's like, mate. Paradise, love it.
My sister and her boyfriend went. You know what I say? It's not my cup of tea. We're probably somewhere we could end up at some point, you know. But no, we like more expensive places.
Mate, if I could afford that, I'd be in Florida right now.
Hence the reason we're off to New York again in February.
Oh, he's dropped that one. Mic drop.
I told you. I'm sure I told you that anyway. But no, I haven't really done anything. I haven't been anywhere. Nothing special, I don't think. No.
Fair play. Fair enough.
Boring. Well, but
segment.
You know what?
Oh, go on, mate. Go on. No, you go on. Go on.
Last weekend it was the big pay-per-view weekend, so I crammed all them in for a change. But yeah, right. First segment.
It's the other way around this week because John's watched everything and I haven't. I'm behind, so I'm trying to catch up. But we'll go through it and we'll talk about it and we'll talk about Money in the Bank coming up as well.
Yes, because that is in a matter of weeks now.
Yeah. So first segment, T-shirt. What are you wearing?
So the first segment for T-shirts for YouTube viewers. If you're listening to the podcast, you can just imagine it. Do you want us to describe our T-shirts? Let us know in the comments under the YouTube video, or TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want. So I've got the All Elite exclusive crate Best Friends T-shirt from
Fair Play.
I think it's meant to be like a Vegas style one. It's all meant to be neon lights, isn't it? But yeah, it's me. I do like it because it goes with my Jordans. Because I've got Laker Jordans that are black, yellow, and purple. So they go with my Jordans better. And what have you got? I can see it.
Judgment Day. I have Judgment Day on today.
Is that the one with the wings on the back?
Yeah, I love it. I want the. I've just been looking at them online, and I want the other one because it looks like they're all gonna. One of them's leaving soon, but we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, I want new T-shirts. I've been looking, literally been looking. You just stopped me from buying a title belt, so well done.
Good. I want to do one for All In. I'm all right for Money in the Bank because I just got them too. We talked about last week. The LWO and John Cena one. I'll probably rock my John Cena one at Money in the Bank. I'll probably buy one when I'm there as well. Because they've got decent sizes.
I'll probably get you to get me one if there's a decent size as well. The Money in the Bank one.
That's cool.
Pretend I went.
I was not there.
Yeah. There's not one that says I was not there because the tickets were overpriced.
Yeah. Well, we looked at them again last night. It's just a joke because I was curious what our silver package ticket in told. So we were looking at them again, and so we had looked, and it's just a joke. Do you know what? And considering it's getting close, you'd think they'd drop some of the very cheaper tickets down even more.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Especially, on AEW, you can get a ticket to AEW, right? You're in, the 5th tier or whatever for 27 quid. I can't wait to be doing that thing you see people doing at arenas, like put your light on your phone and wave it, go on, wave.
You see me yet? I'm not that way, I'm the other way.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've got a busy month. Well, we've had a busy month for pay-per-views, and we're still not done because there's obviously Money in the Bank at the end of the month. Forbidden Door for AEW's coming.
Yeah. And also, there's a new game out soon, and I cannot wait. I've been watching so much on it.
Well, you were criticising it.
I know I know, but I've just seen. We'll get into it more because I want to talk about wrestling games as a whole soon.
So, have you got much news today?
I don't have to. To be fair, it's just to do with Collision.
Is it? Yeah. Well, it's got that guy sitting on your shoulder. It can go off over your shoulder. Collision go out the window. Might watch it. I don't know. I'm not going to say I am not watching it because if they put the likes of FTR on it, then I'm going to have to fucking watch it, aren't I?
There's a few things. We'll go over a few things. I won't go into everything. I'll cut some out.
So,
we'll talk about pay-per-views, and then we'll get into wrestling games, and then we'll call it a day.
So, roll the credits.
We're back. So I'll cut you some stuff out. Right. The first major thing is WWE announces a multi-year partnership with Twitch. So after the whole kerfuffle with superstars with Vince McMahon not allowing Twitch, like Paige and Adam Cole instances, WWE have now signed a multi-year partnership with Twitch, and the WWE Twitch channel is now back on there. And you can, I don't know what they're going to do on there, probably show random clips and matches and stuff. You know, they used to on Sky Sports, like a random Del Rio match every now and again.
Hunter, hit us up.
Yeah, we can do all that, mate. Don't you worry, we'll do that. Give us all the things we need, all the money, and we'll get that sorted. Don't you worry. All right, yeah. Launch of the channel WWE debut today, a companion sidecast to Monday Night Raw, bringing the universe behind the scenes and closer to the in-ring action. So it's like, is it what's it, BTA? Is it BTA? Behind the scenes for AEW, what's it called?
All Access.
Yeah. Why did I say BTA?
That's the Young Bucks YouTube.
Yeah, that's why I said that. I don't know why I said that. Yeah. Out. It looks like it's that. So the weekly viewing experience will be led by a rotating cast of hosts and will regularly feature appearances by WWE superstars, unique and exclusive content such as backstage interviews and more. You can stream the sidecast live every Monday beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's about 1 in the morning.
So question then. Could they bring back my second favourite pay-per-view of all time then?
Oh, is it Cyber Sunday or Taboo Tuesday?
Well, they're both the same thing though, aren't they? But yeah, you think about it, they could have it on Twitch and have the polls done on Twitch.
It'd be cool, that would be really good. It makes sense as well, to be fair. It doesn't say how much it cost. They probably won't release that anyway. But yeah, at least that's back on there. So the superstars that ever jump back over to WWE. No, probably they wouldn't now because they're happy with what they're doing. Adam Cole, for example. You can get back on Twitch. Baby. Boom. Bray Wyatt is expected to return to WWE very soon. There have been many rumours about Bray Wyatt's status ever since he disappeared. At one point, it looked like WWE was starting a WrestleMania feud with Wyatt and Bobby Lashley, but all hints in that direction stopped, and Wyatt, including Uncle Howdy, hadn't been seen since. A new rumour has come up in recent days from a Twitter account that claims creative came to terms with Wyatt about a new storyline that is agreed to make it work despite not being fully satisfied. The rumour was debunked. Oh, so it's complete bullshit. Why did you fucking put that as an article then? That just doesn't make sense.
It's happened
He's
again.
Still out. It's happened again. We'll cut this from the YouTube channel.
Gentlemen, my bad.
But for Spotify, this is just bollocks, and I fucking hate it.
I'm out for a little segment for the Spotify for Matt's cock up of the week.
Yeah, Could do, actually. That'd be good. There's always one every week, isn't there? Vince McMahon was backstage on Raw. We'll talk about Raw in a minute. CM Punk hasn't helped boost tickets for AEW Collision outside of Chicago. The first one is in Chicago, and then it's in Scotia Bank Arena in Canada, and then First Ontario Centre in Ontario, Canada. And then it's in Canada again, and then Canada again, then in New Jersey, and then in North Carolina. Justin Roberts. And also, Tony Khan will make another, hold your hats and hold your horses, the horse behind you in your picture, will make another huge announcement.
Another one.
Had over the last couple of weeks, because my mate sent me a screenshot of all of them. So these are the ones he's had recently. We will hear from Tony Khan. That was in April 26th. That was Tony Khan's huge announcement. April the 5th. So, I don't have a clue, mate. Probably. April the 5th, a couple of weeks before that, Tony Khan has a very important announcement.
1 hour later.
Tony Khan addresses the World Heavyweight World Championship and the World Trios Championship on AEW Dynamite. Tony Khan has an important announcement. Doesn't say what day that was. Tony Khan has an important announcement that was in February.
2 hours later.
Tony Khan will make a huge announcement that was in April 20th. So a week after that one. Tony Khan has a very important announcement, and it has pictures of Kenny Omega and Jay White. Tony Khan will make an announcement about the debut of AEW Collision.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time card.
Tony Khan will announce the first main event match of AEW Collision. Tony Khan will announce the first location of AEW Collision. And now we've just got Tony Khan will make a big announcement about AEW Collision. Do you know what? At least he's making announcements. Because if you're into football, I'm still waiting for my owners to say they're leaving.
Never.
At least Tony Khan makes so many fucking announcements.
I'm not interested in this Collision. I'm really not.
And you know, I can't wait.
I'm really enjoying Dynamite. I've never really been a big. I can't think of Steve. I don't even know what the name of the one is. Rampage. Never really watched Rampage. Rampage just feels like a filler show to me. Like getting like more people out there.
Heat or something like that one.
Yeah, like Heat, or main event. Don't get me wrong. I did watch the Hardy compound match. So it was really entertaining. If you watched any of the other the deletion matches from there, they are good. But I think the fact I feel with this Collision, and I sound like a broken record now. He has literally made this to give CM Punk his own show so that he can separate him and the ones that he has issues with. But then how long until he has issues with those in that? How is he? And are we going to get new titles? Are we getting new tag team titles? Are we going to get a new world heavyweight title? Like how much more can he do to be WWE without being WWE right now?
I know, innit?
And that was the one thing that made them stand out because they would be different. But yeah, I'll give it. I'm not gonna lie. I will probably give it a watch because if it is the way they're saying they're gonna do, the likes of FTR is gonna be in there, and I like FTR, so
yeah,
I'll just fast forward his match and his promos every week.
I don't blame you. I was just getting up stuff for Fight Forever when we talk about it. Right, yeah, Sergeant Slaughter has been in the news, along with Lacey Evans and his daughter. Apparently, his daughter is not happy that Lacey Evans has kind of took the Sergeant Slaughter gimmick and made it her version. Even though it's cringy as fuck, and I really hate it on Lacey Evans.
Did we have a news thing a couple weeks ago that he was training her again?
Yeah. God knows, mate. Maybe it's like the Guerreros. They're all over the place. As many of you read over the weekend, the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Sergeant Slaughter did not take kindly to Lacey Evans' new look on Friday Night Smackdown. Evans, who served in the United States Marine Corps, came out wearing a drill instructor cover hat on Friday, and many compared her to Slaughter, and some outright said that she stole his gimmick. Others pointed out that Slaughter's gimmick was taken from the United States Marine Corps. And while there are no records showing that Slaughter served in the military, Evans did serve for 5 years. Slaughter's daughter followed up an initial tweet by saying that she respects Lacey Evans for serving, but she feels that Evans stole the Cobra Clutch and now the hat. The Cobra Clutch has been used by countless names, including the Iron Sheik. Slaughter's daughter wrote, "You've got my respect for serving for our country, 100%. I'm talking about the gimmick, the Cobra Clutch, and now the hat. You look ridiculous. Hashtag stolen gimmick." Lacey Evans fired back, "A move is a move. As far as my military campaign cover goes, come take it. Hashtag I'll show you a fucking gimmick." All kicking off, mate. Honestly, it's so riveting this. I can't wait to see what happens with Lacey Evans and Sergeant Slaughter.
You know what? You know, you get these wrestlers, and they are sports entertainers. They do this and do that, but there is a handful that come along that could look like they could genuinely smash someone's face in at ease. And I believe Lacey Evans is one of them.
Oh yeah, I won't mess about with her.
Yeah, I would like to see her and Ronda actually going at it in a cage. Imagine. Full on, full contact, no messing about. I reckon we'd get a brutal match there. Book it now. Bring back Shane McMahon's fight pit.
Oh, do you remember that?
I don't remember what it's called.
I wiped that from my memory, Okay.
I'll bring it back and just let them two go at it. But yeah, so how good would it be if they put Sergeant Slaughter's daughter that's probably never wrestled a day in her life in the ring with Lacey Evans?
She lasts 2 seconds.
Yeah. I just don't get it. Like
I like Lacey Evans. I have done since she had that feud with Seth and Becky. Quality feud. I really liked that feud when they were having that. And that tag match at Extreme Rules that they had was good. She just never really... There was always rumours that they wanted to do something with her, but there was just nothing...
The Southern Belle The Southern Belle was good, but it just didn't hit right.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit dated for the current audience right now.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
And she's a good wrestler. She's one of the better ones. Definitely one of the better ones. She's all right in the mic. Do something with her military life. I mean, it's Sergeant Slaughter. Have him as her manager.
Yeah, bring him back in.
He's always sitting about because he always seems to come out and get involved with the fights beside the ring. Like he's gonna be able to do anything.
And she's talking, and Slaughter's daughter's talking about stealing a move. Does she not watch wrestling? Fucking hell, Young Bucks do it week in, week out with the sweet chin, or with the super kick that used to be Adam Cole, then it was Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. Everyone uses the super kick. It's just nothing new.
Yeah, it's super kick.
Exactly. Like the pedigree.
Kevin Owens
Seth Rollins used it.
Kevin Owens stunner.
Kevin Owens stunner. It's just the spear.
Doesn't Chad Gable use the ankle lock now?
Yeah, use the ankle lock. Everyone uses the spear.
Jericho. Oh, was it the other day? Sammy Guevara did Jericho's. Was Jericho. Darby Allin did the Scorpion Deathlock. MJF did the Crossroads. And Jungle Boy did the Unprettier.
And there's one submission that everyone frigging uses, the figure four leg lock. That's Ric Flair's finisher. Get used to it. It's what happens in wrestling. It winds me up. Next. We'll do Forbidden Door. Some top matches have officially been announced for AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. Obviously, you'll know more than this. I need to catch up with all AEW and WWE stuff and Impact because I'll do watch Impact. AEW and New Japan will present the second installment of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view on June 25th. This co-promoting event was highly praised for the inaugural show last.
One of the better pay-per-views they did last year, I would say.
That needs to be reworded. That's just stupid. For the first show. So New Japan and AEW stars mix it up. Whoever wrote this article cannot do this right. The first two matches are made official for the show. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Championship. And I'm not saying that first name. Okada versus Brian Danielson. Sorry.
Kinsuke and Okada against Daniel Bryan. So, like Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, what can you say? You watch the first one, you know what it's all about. It's going to be just brilliant.
Brilliant.
And I've literally just watched an interview with Ospreay on Chris Van Vel. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just done an interview on YouTube, and he was talking about how good it was, and it was rated so highly and stuff like that. The Daniel Bryan Okada match. Now I don't see the draw to both of these guys. I really don't. But that's because they're not my. It's not my style of wrestling that I like to watch. They are your mat wrestlers. They are whatever. But Okada puts on good matches. Daniel Bryan puts on good matches, and these two are both being billed as Okada's been for a long time been called the best in the world at wrestling, in the business, and obviously we all know Daniel Bryan's been named the GOAT for quite a long time for more and more reasons. So this match has potential to be an absolute stormer. Am I looking forward to it? Probably not. I'm probably more excited about the other match that's been announced because that's more my cup of tea. But it'd be good. I'm hoping we get some trio matches, get something in there with the Bucks with somebody as well. But I'm trying to think who the Bucks could take on that they've not already beat over there. They've got this whole new Bullet Club being built over there as well, which I was reading about this morning. I'm just like, and I'm really sorry if anybody likes it that's listening, but the names in it are absolutely terrible, mate. Gabriel Kidd, WCPW days, is now a member of the Bullet Club.
Oh, mate, is that way? Is he still going?
He went up to New Japan as a young lion, didn't he? And he's done all right out there, what I've seen. He did some of the stuff in America as well. I think he was training under Shibata. So he's doing all right. Clark Connors is in there as well. It's being read by Finley. I think of his first name. But the names in it's just not.
I know what you mean.
The names that are out there, though, they just don't have the same sting as it has had for the last couple of years. You look at the names that have come through it. Finn Balor, AJ Styles in there, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Adam Cole, Adam Page. I mean, there was some big names that come out of the back of that bullet. It just seems that, but yeah, it'd be interesting. Forbidden Door is a good one, because if you don't watch New Japan, you get to see some New Japan guys that you've probably never seen before, and some of them just go at it, mate. Like Suzuki Gun, like his matches are just like. I'd like to see Suzuki Gun and Gunther go at it on TV. I don't know if they've done it in the Independents or Walter. Sorry, yeah, I was right. Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther.
Walter, Gunther, whatever you want to call it. I would like to see them two go at it if they haven't already, and if they have, can someone comment on the YouTube video or any of our social media and tell me where to find it. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. I would like to see Aussie Open there, but I know one of them is injured. Because they were on Dynamite the other week. But yeah, it's the last stop before All In, I think, as well.
Yeah, isn't it?
June 25th.
I've won in August. Oh no, it's August anyway, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
so
do they have
June
a pay-per-view
25th.
in July?
No.
Yeah, then it's the last one.
I'm fucking well confused there. Yeah, it'll be the last one. I'm thinking sure it is. I'm not sure. The AEW only do a handful of pay-per-views. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
so I think it's the last stop before All In. Pay-per-view 23 list. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it is.
So it's the last stop.
Then All In.
So and you don't really get much storylines come off the back of it because it usually is crossover matches. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, they've got some little matches, like little events to have on the days in between, stuff like that. So Fighter Fest.
Yeah, they have them on Dynamite, don't they call them?
Stuff like that in Fight for the Fallen. But yeah, the major pay-per-view is next one is All In after that. So yeah, it should be good. Just look forward to that. I think FTR will have a good match there. I've lost touch with New Japan, so I can't even say who I would like to see them out there with.
Well, them are the only two matches that have been announced. Danielson, Okada, and Ospreay, and Omega.
Spunk will get some sort of big. He'll get like Tanahashi or something.
Spunk. Right. Let's move on to WWE. As we saw on SmackDown, the Tribal Chief is now at 1,000 days as Universal Champion. He got given a new belt. It's dreadful. It's just literally the WWE title with gold. What is that about?
Horrendous. It's what I thought the other one was bad.
The world title is growing on me after watching, because I watched the opening segment of Raw today. I've not gone through Raw yet. I know what's happening,
I've not made it through
but
Raw.
I've not watched it. The world title on Seth Rollins this week, it's kind of growing on him. He carries it. But that the undisputed title is just, it's laziness. It's literally just laziness.
Well, didn't they have a big title like that where the back plate and all that stuff was like coloured, and it literally had a WWE logo and heavyweight underneath it for a short period of time, or champion underneath the WWE logo? I'm sure he did before he did the Universal and heavyweight that he's been walking around with.
Yeah, the Rock's version.
Maybe, yeah.
With the Scratch logo on it, rather than the Network logo.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, the Rock brought that out. Because
he
ate the spinner belt.
But yeah,
it's dreadful and it's laziness.
But you'll still order it.
It looks awful. And then we saw Solo, obviously Jimmy. Let's talk about Raw first, just because that was Night of Champions. Raw was last night. Apparently, Veer Mahan, WWE love him, as we knew, because he was coming for 5 months before he actually showed up. And then went to NXT after 6 matches, and then he's back up again with Indus Sher. To be fair, I've watched this clip on YouTube. They look like a legit tag team. They look like a threat. Not that the tag titles will ever get defended like separately, because they still need to do that. But Veer Mahan and what's the other one's name? Who's in? Oh, Sangha. Is the one's called Sangha, with Jinder as the manager. They look decent, but WWE loves Veer Mahan. There's a big future for him in the company. We could see him as WWE Universal Champion. Imagine that. And also,
no, God! No, God, please, no!
Not again. WWE's season of babyface turned for a superstar, and this is what I was talking about before, because it looks like Judgment Day could be losing a member.
Oh.
At the end of the Seth Rollins and Damian Priest match for the World Heavyweight title, Finn Balor came out to try and help Priest, which went wrong. In the closing minutes of the match, the announcers pointed out that Priest asked Balor why he showed up to ringside, and Priest looked pissed off that he turned up to try and help him when he said he could do it on his own.
Have you said you've watched that segment where they come out earlier on?
Yeah, the first segment of the night. Yeah. I watched that.
Every time Priest said he could do it on his own stuff, Finn didn't look too impressed either.
Yeah, I think they're going to split Damian from it, because I think his match with Bad Bunny, it's put him in a good stead with management. This apparently, I've got a news article here, his match with Seth Rollins, he went to the back and apparently he was praised for his match with Seth. I think it's looking like he could be tearing away from Judgment Day, and they're probably going to get, because there was news that JD McDonough was going to join the Judgment Day. So we could possibly get that, and Damian Priest pull away from the Judgment Day and be his own man. Thoughts?
Take the title off Gunther.
Yeah.
It's believable. It's a believable person to take it off him. It is. Yeah. Do you know what? Damian's on fire right now.
He is. He's one of the gems that they've got.
Yeah. And I think he served his time now, because he did a lot of time in Ring of Honor, and he's come up and he's just got on with it, and they gave him that terrible Archer gimmick at the beginning of NXT. He's come through, he's done his bit, then he's joined the Judgment Day, which has just excelled him. To fair, it's excelled them all.
It really has.
But more importantly, more him and Rhea. Rhea was on the right path anyway, but it's give her that next step. But yeah, I can see him going on doing a sole title run. I wouldn't throw him straight into like a world title shot. Let's put in the Continental around his waist for a little while, run with that,
Yeah,
and
let him run
then
with
give
it.
him his world.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and then JD McDonough joins the Judgment Day, and then you're building someone else up, and Finn and Rhea and Dom are doing their job with JD McDonough. So it makes sense as well, because obviously Finn trained JD. So
yeah,
no, it makes perfect sense.
The thing is, and obviously WWE like us to forget these things, but there was a storyline that went in when Finn helped NXT UK get going. They had a match because JD McDonough was. Do you know what? I'm not calling him that because that winds me up. I can't even remember his real name. I'm just gonna call him JD because he's not got that name. Because that's my surname, and that's what winds me up. Jordan Devlin, that's his name. Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, Jordan Devlin.
Devlin.
That was a quality name. I don't know why they changed that.
Yeah, like, and I remember someone messaged me. Sorry, when he announced him, he's like, "Oh, you'd be able to get a shirt from WWE with your name on it." It's like, still no. Just no. And the announcers murder. By the way, the announcers murder it. They can't even pronounce it right. It's spelled exactly.
Don't they say McDonough or something?
It's different. Everyone can say it differently. No one can say it properly unless you've been brought up.
I think the only one that says it different was Wade Barrett. Says it right was Wade Barrett.
Probably gets close, but I don't know. I'll have to watch out now. But yeah, there was that whole storyline that he, hated Finn because everyone compares him to the. It was a bit like Rocky 5 with Tommy Gunn, where everybody was like, "Oh, you're just, you're in his shadow. You're just his robot. And that's what they're going on. So don't forget that when they put him in there, that they had that whole storyline. Well, he didn't like Finn because he conferred him, but now he's going to forgive him and join his crew.
Oh, friends. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so Raw was last night. I didn't watch it. I watched clips. I need to watch. Mini box is doing my head in. 1 minute it's let me watch it and then it stops, and then I've got to leave it for about 10 minutes before I can watch it. So I just keep watching. I need to ring the right people to sort that out. But we had the opening segment between Rollins, Finn, and Priest, as we just spoke about. Balor didn't look too happy, like we just said. What Priest said, he didn't need him. Obviously teasing that split. Then we had Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville, which was a Money in the Bank qualifying match because Becky Lynch needs Money in the Bank, apparently.
I watched that match, so I watched some last night before I went to bed, mate. And when you watch this, and anybody has watched it, I felt sorry for Chelsea Green for a good few minutes because Becky just ragdolls her into the barriers, mate, repeatedly, just literally ragdolling Chelsea into the barriers.
No
and
way.
At one point, after 1 or 2, I was like, okay. Oh, we should go again. Must have been about 5 or 6 times, mate. And at this point, I'm like, someone needs to check on Chelsea because I think she might be broke. She just kept launching her, mate.
I hope not. Yeah, apparently, Bleacher Report gave it a C+ that match. Becky Lynch won, as we all probably know. Kevin Owens versus Gunther. Kevin Owens is getting hilarious week in, week out because he's acting like he's the viewer, because every single week something will happen and he'll turn around and go, "Well, that's not supposed to happen on the mic." He'll say that. I think he did it last week. He said, "We've not even mentioned you and you've come out here. That's not supposed to happen."
Yeah.
It's the unwritten law. I love Kevin Owens the way he does it.
I'm enjoying where he just loses his rag and wants to fight everything.
Yeah. And Kevin Owens and Sammy's got to try and calm him down. I love it, mate.
Good match.
Kevin Owens versus Gunther was a quality match, apparently. I've not watched it. I'm going to watch it.
Brilliant match. Very entertaining. And spoiler alert here for you, mate. Gunther only won by interference.
That's not spoilers. That's normally what happens.
Yeah, but then they say that. No, Matt Riddle calls it out in a promo literally right after. Gunther's won again by getting help from his friends. He's not won on his own and stuff like that. But the match in general, mate, it was a pay-per-view quality match.
It says it was quality. They gave it an A+, sorry. So, no, fair play. And then we had Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. Sorry, no, we didn't. I wish we did. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Apparently, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter really came out of it looking great. They've given it a B plus.
How short are them two?
Oh, they're very small. This is why I was like.
So they did a promo beforehand. When you watch it back later on, and I watch it, did a promo where Shayna and Ronda were talking to Brian Saxton, and they're not. There's a bit of height difference, but nothing major. Like, and then them two walk up, and they're looking up at Ronda and Shayna.
So, yeah, they was small, aren't
they? Me, so he literally went, "How short are they?" So I literally had to Google. I think Kaden Chance or whatever she's called is 5 foot. The other one's 5'2". I was like, they are midgets. Even compared to Ronda and Shayna, they were short.
Well, the notable moments and observations that Bleacher Report put on is Carter and Chance's entrance video might give someone seizures. So if you do suffer with epilepsy, please watch it with the light on or something. The video package we made for the NXT call-ups was well done. Carter and Chance had some great tag team combos. They are one of the few duos in the women's division that have made an effort to develop an arsenal of double team moves. And if WWE ever does a mixed match challenge again, we need Butch and Baszler as a team. They'd be perfect together. Don't know. Next up, we had Ricochet and Shinsuke for qualifier match for the Money in the Bank.
I thought Ricochet qualified.
No, wait.
Ricochet qualified last week.
Oh, they both have. All right. It's both of them just facing each other then.
All right.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, it says it. I just didn't even read it. I just thought it was. Last week, Ricochet and Shinsuke each qualified for the men's money, but yeah. So they just faced off against each other. This got given a B-. Apparently, it is one of the better matches next to Owens and Gunther. There was a backstage segment involving Ricochet, Nakamura, and Reed that almost felt as if they were reading their lines off a cue card. Fair play. It felt like we barely had 2 minutes between commercial breaks. Nothing new there with Raw. And Ricochet makes the springboard look like the easiest thing in the world. Then we had Miz TV with Cody Rhodes supporting his cast on his arm. And Rhea and Dom came out for some weird frigging reason. Did not see that coming at all.
Are we getting a Dominic Mysterio, Cody Rhodes
in 2023?
Really?
Cody Rhodes isn't even champion, mate. Like that. What is this?
2 years ago, Cody Rhodes was wrestling the likes of Chris Jericho. He didn't wrestle Kenny Omega, but he was wrestling Shaq. He was wrestling Brody Lee, and now he looks like he's in a storyline.
He's done Seth Rollins. He's jumped on Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Dominic Mysterio. I'm guessing it's just a little filler before they get to the third match of Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Just a guess. I think that's what they're doing. I've not watched the segment, but from what I've read and from the clip I've seen, it looks like it's going to set up Dom versus Cody in it. Money in the Bank. Dom slaps Cody and runs off like a little bitch, and Rhea Ripley gets in front of him. And then so I woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I went on Twitter because I had notifications, and I can't have notifications on my phone. It winds me up. And I went on him, and Brandy Rhodes has put on Cody can't slap Mommy, but I can. And I thought, please.
No, it was please. Daddy can't slap Mommy, but Mommy will.
Yeah, so that's what she said. Yeah, and I thought
a pappy, a papa or something like that. Whatever it must be what his little girl calls him. Yeah.
But the heat that Dom's got is mental. I don't know if they are pumping that in. If they are, it's very realistic for me.
If I go off the live event last week, they're not pumping shit in, mate, because he was just badly booed.
Right, then he's doing his job absolutely perfect, and everybody is.
Annoyingly, yes, he is.
Then we had Zoe Stark versus Natalya, match of the year, apparently. Natalya's in it. Zoe Stark has come from nowhere and been a Trish Stratus puppet at the moment, but I'm glad they're doing something with her instead of her just absolutely getting to the bottom of the women's division and being like Emma and doing frig all. It got given a C. Apparently, the neon green and Salia's gear clashed with everything else. It's not something I look for in a match, to be quite honest with you. And then after it, Paul Heyman plugged a segment for Smackdown after the match was over. That's how great this match was, apparently. There was nothing else to go off. And then we had Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest. No, we didn't. They put that there, but it wasn't. Oh, no, yeah, we did. Indus Sher was scheduled for a match against Shelton and Cedric. Aren't they split up now?
No, they're still together.
Are they both free agents?
Sort of free agents now, aren't they?
Are they still free agents? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
But Veer and Sangha attacked their opponents before it could even take place. The main event was a title bout, and then we got to the main event, which was Rollins Priest, which we spoke about, which was an A-. They give it. It's hard to tell, but WWE might be piping in some of the crowd noise during Rollins' entrance. They've said it sounds different when his music is playing than it does after the song stops. Priest was really laying on his strikes. You could hear the impact of very hit. Again, why do people write articles and don't proofread them before they send them? You could hear the impact of every hit. And the way Rollins was able to power Priest up for a Falcon Arrow with almost no leverage was impressive, apparently. And the whole show got an A-, and apparently that's with Vince changing a few things on it as well. According to Bleacher Report, they were really happy with it. I've not watched it. I'll tell you next week how I think about it. But yeah, that was Raw. Happy days. Night of Champions.
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't
it? I really enjoyed it. Right. I was very surprised. Right, we'll go through the matches and we'll talk about them. We'll talk about them dead quick because we've got Double or Nothing. Then we'll talk about the game. Seth Rollins and AJ opened the show because Seth had to go and finish off his final scenes for Captain America. I really liked it. I thought it was a good match. Best match of the night.
Match. I couldn't work out why it was first out, saying it was the big match of the night because it was the title. But yeah, no, it was a good match. It's Seth and AJ. You're going to get a good match no matter what.
You're going to, aren't you? Yeah. Trish and Becky. Trish versus Becky. I couldn't care less about this match. I really couldn't. Yeah, it is what it is. Trish beat Becky, which was a very surprised with.
Yeah. It was okay.
And so he started getting involved.
I don't think it was much of a bad match all night on Clash Champions, but it was okay. It wasn't greatest, but hey ho.
Yeah. Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. Gunther makes anyone look great, but we all knew that was coming anyway.
Yeah, that's just to please the Jabber audience, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then the surprising thing for me, because we both said this wasn't happening. Asuka defeated Bianca Belair.
Nice.
And it was a good match.
Dropped the title. Yeah, it was decent. And I enjoyed that match.
The finish was clever as well. Yeah. Because she kept missing the mist, and then she poured it into her hand and rubbed it into her eyes, and yeah.
Yeah. I agree. And it's good to see Asuka with the title again. It's about time. Now they need to keep it on her for a good while.
Yeah.
Then we had Ripley defeating Natalya. Again, no one cares about Natalya, really. That's why it was.
It was a squash match. Absolute squash match.
1 minute 10. Does it all. And Dom was ringside. And then we had Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Brock Lesnar defeated Cody Rhodes by technical submission, it says on Wikipedia. Don't know what a technical submission is, but it is what it is. I can't remember the match. I remember him breaking his arm, but I think I went to the toilet a few times in this match.
It was one of them ones. It was a bit unpredictable where they were going towards the end. You were looking like Cody was on top because Cody realized he could hit him with the cast.
He did. Yeah.
So he was like he's getting on top, and that's when obviously Brock just went Brock mode and crunched him. But I think it was a bit obvious that we were going to get a Brock win this one because they'll go for the 3-match major pay-per-view back in America.
At SummerSlam.
It was all right.
And then we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeated the Bloodline, which we said that was going to happen, and Jimmy super kicked Roman.
Yeah,
it was Jimmy that did it.
The match was brilliant. The crowd getting behind Sammy, and mainly with Sammy and
I
Kevin.
loved it.
But they were so behind Sammy, so behind Kevin. Roman did the same thing he did at Clash when the crowd went with him. He was letting it get to him, so Sammy was, eating it up, and it was like he's powering him up, where Roman was letting him get to him, distract him, stuff like that. But I did not see that coming.
No, I didn't.
I had finished work at that time, so obviously I was on while I was working, and I'd finished for that just in time for the match. I think the entrance was literally as I was closing everything down, and I just sat here, was like watching it. I was like, right, they're in. Right, Jay's going to do it. Jay's going to do something here. What, Jimmy? And then he did it again, and I just sat there like, oh my god, Jimmy's done it, and Jay's in shock. What's going on? And obviously we've seen on Friday night that Jimmy's been kicked out, and Roman's expecting Jay to fall in line. I really hope. I hope they get in a ring and they both super kick him.
Yeah, Solo obviously turned on the Usos as well on SmackDown and sided with the Tribal Chief, which was interesting.
Can't see it lasting long. I reckon that's the time. I reckon they'll use Kishi to get that sorted.
Yeah, I do. I think they'll do something because Kishi's been very vocal on Twitter and Instagram over the past couple of weeks. Past week to be fair. So no idea. I really liked that match. To be fair, the story in it. And I've been saying this for ages, and everyone keeps saying it's not. The story with that, it got a bit boring at one point, and you think it's just dragging now. But as soon as Cody lost the title, then we all thought it's just gone shit now. You can see where they're going with it. I still can't see what they're doing with the title unless it's Cody and Roman at WrestleMania next year. But with the Bloodline storyline, you can see where it's going now. Title-wise, can't. But that
for me, though, for the Bloodline story, for him to lose the title of the Tribal Chief, and if they're going to try and, take the power away from that he doesn't have his family with him no more, one of them have to take a title off him. Take the title off him. Whether it's for a couple of days or whatever, not long. For me, the end that story, for that storyline to be dead in the water, one of them have to take the title off him. And I would go Sikoa.
Yeah, I could see Sikoa doing it more than Jade, to be fair.
Sikoa, as much as I want Jade, because he started it and then Jade to finish it would be the best thing ever. Probably one of the best long-time storylines that WWE have ever done. Started with Jay, it finishes with Jay. Would be great. I just think Sikoa just comes across as he already looks like a world champion. And do the storyline where Roman loses everything, because Roman's going to take some time off. Roman loses everything. Paul Heyman becomes the advisor to Sikoa. Sikoa still doesn't have to speak properly again. Leave it that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that was Night of Champions and SmackDown in short. Then we move to Double or Nothing, and we have Dave's. Have we got yours? Or we just do Dave's?
Just do Dave's, and the reason I didn't do it is I watched it on the Monday. I already knew all the results, but I was just trying to enjoy it. I just finished work that week, and it was my wind down, and I know it's something I want to do for the pod. And I will, do you know what? I will give how I feel I would have scored the matches if I did it when we go through them compared to Dave's, because I disagree with some of Dave's. Not majorly, but I do disagree with some. So, Double or Nothing, we opened up with, I think this was pre-show, the Hardys and Hook versus the Guns and Ethan Page. I joined that last, so I can't really give it a rating. I'm not going to be fair. I joined it probably about 10 minutes before the end of the pre-show. I haven't gone back and watched it, but he's given it 1 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably fair for a pre-show match.
Pre-show match. Yeah, I've not watched Double or Nothing. I'm in the middle of the Battle Royal. I've not watched much of it. I got home on Thursday, fell asleep, absolutely crashed. And then I had work Friday, the day after I got back, because I have no more holidays, because my team were in a final on the Friday and the Saturday, which I wish I never booked off. So then I tried to watch it Sunday, but now I'm seeing someone. It was a bit hard, so I'm going to do it after this. I'm going to watch it. But yeah, I can imagine the pre-show match not being that good, even with the Hardys in it.
So then we had the Blackjack Battle Royal match, which we were up to for the international title. Entertaining match. There was a segment there, mate, where all the luchadors went together and took out everybody, and it was a good match. Obviously, Orange Cassidy still come out with the belt. Dave's give it a 4 1/4. Yeah,
must
probably
be a really
4.
good battle royal.
Yeah, it was a good battle royal. It was an entertaining match. There was a lot of stories were told within the match. So Starks in the Bullet Club Gold, they had their stuff going on. Stuff with the luchadors, stuff like that. But yeah, 4 1/4. I'd probably give it a 4. Yeah, 4 1/4 would probably be fair for it.
Bears. The match I was looking forward to next.
Adam Cole versus Jericho. And this is one of the ones I disagree with him on. This match had everything that you want from a storytelling match that's got a storyline that's running through it right. Still at the peak of its storyline. They went at each other. I'm trying not to. I'm sorry, mate. I'm gonna have to spoil this.
No, go for it. No, it's fine. I've seen all results anyway, so it's fine.
So Britt Baker comes running out, starts swinging kendo sticks at Chris.
Yeah.
Paige starts. Saraya comes out to defend Chris. So starts swinging kendo sticks at Saraya as well. The match started with the JAS coming out. Sabu and Roderick Strong came out.
Also, sorry. Just so random with Sabu.
Do you know what? It didn't even make any sense in the match either, mate, because he comes out in a suit. And he's meant to be the enforcer, stopping people getting involved, and he gets stuck in himself. He comes out of a chair, mate. He takes a really bad jump off. It wasn't even a jump, mate. He fell off the top ropes.
Nothing changes.
And then they all sort of disappeared. And then that's when Britt came out a little bit later with Saraya. Then they just went at it then too. They literally storytelling the match was great. Jericho brings a chain out, and then he ends up chaining them both together, and it ends up backfiring on him. Adam Cole puts it around his knee, and he does the knee to his hair, and he's kneeing him. He's putting it around his fist. Gives him a black eye as well. You see it later on in the promo. But Dave's give it 3 1/4 stars. No way. I'd give it at least 4.5, if not 4 3/4. I really enjoyed that match.
The issue is Kenny Omega wasn't in that match. That was the issue.
That's the issue, and that match and the main event when we get there will probably on par for me. So if he's give that, let's be honest, if you don't know, he's give the main event 5-star already. If he's give that 5-star, that should be 5-star as well. That match was brilliant, mate. For me, it has a story running right through it because they've now done a mixed tag this week. Yeah, they did it in a mixed tags match, which I haven't watched this week's AEW. But yeah, it was great. And then we had FTR against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
This got more than the Adam Cole and Jericho match.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was very entertaining. Briscoe was brilliant in it, trying to call it down the middle. Karen Jarrett got involved. You want to see the shit when you watch it, the amount of shit she gets from the crowd.
Good.
Is on, and she can't take it either. She can't take it, mate. She reacts to it. So keep an eye out for it.
I hate her.
They're building. It seems like they're building a storyline as well with Sanjay Dutt and Aubrey Edwards.
Oh yeah, I saw some backstage stuff with that. Aubrey Edwards needs to stay away from everyone, to be fair, but carry on.
So Briscoe gets knocked out by one of Jarrett's guitars when he's not meant to be. So then they're going for it, and Aubrey comes out to be the ref. Sanjay Dutt gets in her way, and he won't move out of the way. She pushes him that way, but then Karen Jarrett hits her with a guitar, and I think Karen falls over as well. I think.
What a surprise.
So they're doing this, and then it rolls back in, and yeah, FTR get the win. I think something happens again with them. I can't remember, but yeah, it was a good match. It was highly entertaining. Bar and Karen Jarrett. Sanjay Dutt and Thingy was ejected from the arena. Didn't actually leave the arena.
Yeah,
the Great Khali from Wish.
Yeah.
They were ejected, but they never actually left the arena. But it was a good match. He's given a 4. Yeah, 4 was good. Yeah, I give it a 4. It was entertaining. Then we had Wardlow, Christian Cage for the TNT title. A ladder match. Good match, mate. Once again, you got Christian Cage in a ladder match, which is his specialty. Yeah. Wardlow's up and coming, and he's just an absolute beast. Luchasaurus got involved. Wardlow fell on the ladders right onto his balls. It actually looked like it would have really hurt. There's a bit where Christian goes out the ring and it's Luchasaurus to him going at it for a while, and then Christian, like a rat he is, creeps in and Wardlow gets him, goes up and gets the win.
A creepy little bastard.
Yeah, 3.25 stars. I probably would give it a 3 at best. It was an okay match.
Fair play.
Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter for the women's title next. It was almost like a Jamie Hayter squash match. Now I'm wondering if Jamie Hayter carrying a few injuries more than we're aware of. Because if it wasn't, Tony Khan just get totally disrespect her in that match. She got absolutely battered by the Outsiders.
Outcast.
Is it no? The Outcast, the Outsiders was Hall and Nash, wasn't it? But the Outcast, they absolutely batter her, mate. They all three. It was a 3-on-1. And then she gets the match. It was a squash match, mate. And it made me wonder if there's something wrong with Hayter that we don't know about. Hayter going to be off TV for a little while.
Maybe.
Then we had the House of Black Open House Challenge, which had rules. Rule number 1, no rope breaks.
Okay.
Rule number 2, I think it was like I can't remember. But I know rule number 3.
20-second count out, were it?
Oh, 20-second count out. Yeah, that's it. A 20-second count out. And rule number 3 is the challengers can make a rule of their own. And it was the Acclaim and Billy Gunn that came out. Now, I thought this could have been an opportunity to introduce a new trio from somewhere or bring someone in from New Japan, work for Forbidden Door. But no, I'm glad the Acclaim came out with Billy Gunn. It was a good match. The Acclaim didn't want no rule put in. They binned it off. They went on it. It was good to see Billy Gunn going at Bodie King. Great face-off between the two of them. But they came out on top. Go on.
Sorry, during the entrance, didn't you mention something about Buddy Murphy being a cook to Dom Dom or something?
Yeah. So Dominic and Rhea are both over in 2 companies. Yeah, there was. It was quite funny actually. That's a Black one. 3.25. Yeah, 3, maybe 2.5. It wasn't a great match, but it was okay. Then we had Jake Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. TBS. 2.75. Dave's give it. He's been really kind. It's in my 1 star. My 1.5 star club. It was
Taya though, wasn't it? Shit.
Do you know what? It was they were all right. It's just meh. Yeah, I was bored. I think I was bored with the whole thingy. But then smart Mark Sterling jumps in the ring, giving a big speech, and so does Jade about I'll take on anybody, anywhere, anytime. Open challenges, and out walk Chris Statlander. Now, I don't think you've seen Chris Statlander.
No, I haven't.
I think she's been injured the entire youth since you started watching it. For me, Chris Statlander is probably the best female wrestler they've got. Her gimmick was a bit pants at first. She was like an alien.
Okay.
I don't know. And then they put her with the best friends in Orange Cassidy.
I love how you just went, don't know.
I don't know. I didn't get it. Do you know what? It worked. She didn't really talk. She did this thing about touching people's noses and stuff like that. But then she's come back and it looks like they've rebranded her and sort of dropping the alien a little bit. Dave hasn't rated the second match. He couldn't because Christus comes out and absolutely mullers her and takes the title off her. And we have a new TBS champion, which I'm happy about.
The other week it was about time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more than happy about it. Just like Bianca. They've done the job. Let them put other people over now. Chris has come back.
Yeah.
Deserves it. Brilliant. I thought this would have been the main event, but then when I think about it, and if you watch the press conference afterwards, MJF's comments about not being the main event's brilliant. Someone said, "Are you not happy about? How do you feel about not being the main event on tonight's show?" He's like, "What? Do you want to go out there and roll around John Moxley's blood?"
Yes, I saw that. I also saw what he said about Nick Khan and Triple H as well.
Yeah. So
Tony's face drops. It was mint.
MJF, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, mate. Third best match of the night for me. They all went at it. They all went at MJF, beat him down, chucked him out. Then they all went at it for a bit. And then MJF kept creeping in, they kept throwing him out, and then they all just went at it. They all did their mentors moves, like I mentioned before. So Cody, Sting, Jericho, and Christian. There was a segment where they were in some sort of submission square, mate, where they all had the other one. It's some sort of submission hold. It was a good match. No one was bad in it, and he's given it 4 stars and 3/4. Now he's rated that higher than the Adam Cole Jericho match.
Chris Jericho match.
Yeah, 4 stars, 4.5 stars, deservedly all day, mate. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the main event, the one I was looking forward to. The reason I paid 20 quid for it again, instead of watching some dodgy site the day after. The Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Whoa. I didn't like the shade then that you were throwing. I didn't like that. Why are you throwing shade?
No, because
Why are you throwing shade? You gave me that site.
Well, I'm going to say, if I buy Forbidden Door, I'll let you have my login, but for that, you're not having it now.
You threw shade to me.
I didn't throw shade on that. I admit, used to watch them on dodgy sites the day after. I just don't have the patience to keep clicking part 2, 3.
If they had their own network, we wouldn't have this issue, would we?
Absolutely. But yeah, the Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club. Dave's give it 5. Because Kenny Omega is in it. Mate, absolute havoc. Absolute loved it. The one thing, and I said this to you before we started, the one thing that pissed me off, and I would knock a star off at Shirley for this reason, is the Blackpool Combat Club come out to Wild Thing being played by some band, and it's probably a well-known band that I just don't know. And I felt like he played the song for repeat for a good half the match till he was super kicked by the Bucks. But it was after the first couple of minutes, first couple of go-rounds, it started to interfere with my match. And it just drew me in. Even the commentary team was starting to comment on it. Yeah, when they started to mention it, then you know something's not right. I think someone forgot to tell the guy to shut up. But they're all over the arena, blood's everywhere. Great spot by Matt and John Moxley with the exploding shoe. I've just read as well that Matt Jackson had to get special permission to have that exploding shoe from somewhere. I don't know where.
Exploding shoe.
So obviously, they wear the Jordans and stuff. That's what they wrestle in. There was a bit with him and Cesaro, Claudio, and he gets pile drived into a truck. Claudio turns back up, and even the commentator's like, "Oh, where's Matt? Where's Matt?" And then Matt comes back, and he looks like he's coming back injured to save, because I think Nick was getting a bit of a beating at the time. Comes back, makes a save. Nick's took Mox down, and he's got him in a hold, and he goes to do a super kick. But what we don't realize, when he goes to super kick, he's got like a firework on his shoe that's gone off on the impact, and it's blown up in. It looks like it's blown up in Mox's face.
In his face.
By the way, Mox spreads and bleeds, mate. I think Mox was bleeding before this. I was going to say before his entrance music finished, but it was well bleeding by then. But Mox was bleeding, mate. But all 8 men in the match, mate, put on, even little Yuta, put on absolute masterclass for literally, what was it? Anarchy in the Arena. It was Anarchy in the Arena, mate. It was what it said on the tin. and obviously we got the shock. Don Callis turned up midway through the match on commentary.
Oh, okay.
And every time Kenny went near that, he sort of ran off, and they made comments. Obviously, we can't see him on commentary all the time, but they kept making comments about him running away and stuff. And then when it looked like Kenny was going to get the finish, he slides in the ring, distracts Kenny, and then out of nowhere, take a shitter. And I was going to try and learn that guy's name until that match, and he's really upset me.
Okay.
So Take a Shitter comes in and kicks Kenny, and it looks like they're working on something with Don Callis being the manager of Take a Shitter, or Take a Shitter joining the Blackpool Combat Club, which now leads me to hope that Forbidden Door, Kenny's having his match with Will, and Take a Shit comes out and has another pop, but then somebody comes and makes a save for Kota Ibushi, maybe. Just putting it out there in the ether, even though he doesn't want nothing to do with New Japan again at the moment because he's had a bad relationship with them. But yeah, like Kota Ibushi comes out and makes a save, and we get Kota Ibushi.
The Golden Lover thing.
Yes.
Well, I found out who played the Wild Things. It was Violent Idols. It's not who actually sang the song originally. And Bleach Report put the Elite took the fight to the Blackpool Combat Club, fighting up into the stands while Violent Idols played the heels in the ring with their rendition of Wild Thing. Then the song continued and continued and continued and continued some more until the Unbox Super kicked the lead singer.
So it wasn't just me that got really annoyed with it.
It wasn't just you, my friend.
I've become really sensitive to noise with all my stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was starting to really irritate me. I nearly turned it off. I was going to either turn it off or put it on mute. Because it was just, it was so distracting from what was going on. And it was quite a lot. It was hard to follow because they weren't together. They weren't in the ring. You had some in the ring. You had some ringside. You had some in the stands. You had some outside. It was hard to follow anyway. And this noise was just so off-putting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was told to carry on until, that was a planned spot. Or this guy's just kept playing and playing and playing. And there's been a message passed to the books like super kick him, end it or something. But yeah, it could have it ruined the first half of that match for me. It was that annoying because it wasn't like the song. The song doesn't have many lyrics to it. If you look at Wild Thing's lyrics, it doesn't have deep, meaningful verses and choruses. It literally is Wild Things over and over again. And
Wild Things.
I don't know the band. It's not a band that I've listened to, but he wasn't a very good singer either. So it made it even worse.
I never heard of him.
And yeah, it just annoyed me. But the match was great. He's give it 5. I would give it a 5. I would knock a star off, put it on 4 because of the Wild Things, and I would say that and Adam Cole and Jericho was the matches of the night.
Fair play. Well, you made me look forward to watching it. Which normally don't happen for an AEW pay-per-view, but I did say before that this is probably going to be better than Night of Champions.
If you'd come back and you'd text me, mate, which one do I watch first? Which was the better one? Which one should I invest my time in first? I would have said Double or Nothing. And that's not because I'm on my AEW swing or anything. When
no. Because it's together,
it was the more entertaining one of the night.
So the Saturday that Night of Champions was on, I didn't watch it live because it was my dad's 60th birthday party and we had the family around and we had a big party. So I didn't watch it till Sunday evening. And then obviously Monday morning at 8 o'clock, I went to the airport to go Benidorm. So I watched Night of Champions on Sunday night before I went bed. And even then I was falling asleep I think in the middle of the match of the Bloodline. So I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing now. I am going to watch it. I'll probably watch it later while I'm having my tea. Carry on watching it. Anyway, my favorite part. I love games. I love gaming. Gaming makes me happy. I'm sure, like yourself, we turn to games to distract us from what's going on around us. And one consistent franchise of games has been the WWE games, or when Impact TNA came out with their.
I don't remember a time where I didn't play a wrestling game.
Yeah, same, man. Same. I started on Attitude, WWF Attitude on the PS1. I started on that.
Before then, mate. So I remember playing Sega games with my brother, and we used to rent out, because the video shop where we used to live also rented out games, and we used to rent out a Sega WrestleMania game. Probably had 6 people to pick, like Hulk Hogan, Big Boss Man, Ultimate Warrior, Savage sort of thing.
That game, the place where we work, on that gaming thing that they've got now.
Okay.
On the breakout area. But yeah, I know which one you mean. I played it the other day.
Yeah, so I played them. I played the WWF Attitude one with Stone Cold was on the 64.
Yeah.
PlayStation wise, I played the WCW games as well, and WCW versus
I did
NWO and stuff like that. Played them, and then PS1. I think I didn't have it. My mate had a chipped one, and I played Smackdown, the first Smackdown game.
You didn't have a chip one.
I didn't have it. No, it weren't me. It was my friend.
Oh, I did. I had a chip PlayStation, mate. No,
my mum and dad won't let me chip mine because they paid good money for it, and back then they didn't have a lot. So I played that, and then I got my own copy for Christmas and stuff. So I've played Smackdown from the incarnation of Smackdown all the way through. I've played every year's worth of WWE games, WWF games, and I played the TNA Impact game, which we mentioned the other week as well, which I found highly entertaining where people didn't. But yeah, we've had the announcement.
We have of AEW Fight Forever. Now, it's been apparently it was done time ago. Yeah, apparently it was done ages ago. It was done, and then they had an issue with all the blood, and then they had to change the rating of it because John Moxley's in it, and then and the whole shit with CM Punk went on, and he was on the cover, so they couldn't release it then because they had to change the cover, but then they didn't know whether to change the cover because CM Punk was still part of the company. We got a release date with Kenny Omega announcing it on a video, which was cool. June 29th for PC, PS5, Xbox X, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. I'm getting it on the PS5. You're obviously going to get it on the PS5. So we will be playing that game together because I cannot. All my other friends are AEW fans, so I will be playing it with you. I watched so many videos because they've had the creators stuff going on this week.
Yes.
And some of the stars. I don't know whether you watch Chris Denk, Ops Denker.
I don't watch many gamers on YouTube or anything, mate. I really don't. It's not my. I just can't get into gamers playing games. I'd rather just play it myself.
Oh, fair play. Yeah, fair play. But he's released a lot. He's released the season mode kind of thing, the Road to All Elite, I think it's called, or something like that. He's obviously released gameplay with weapons and stuff you can do. So we're just going to break it down a little bit because obviously conscious of the time and stuff. But we'll go through the roster dead quick. There is some DLC stuff, but the roster looks stacked without DLC, like the 2K games are as well. You've got Abaddon. Did I say that right? I've not seen that person yet. Adam Cole, baby, Adam Page, Andrade, Aubrey Edwards is in the game. Kick the shit out of her. Brian Cage.
She's worked on the development of it, so that's probably been like a.
I'll still get the shit out of her. Brian Cage, Brody Lee's in it, which is cool to see. Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, Christian Cage, Chuck Taylor, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes is in it. It's the first time a wrestler like that has been in both games recent times. Yeah, Darby Allin, Britt Baker, Dustin Rhodes, Eddie Kingston, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill, Jeff Hardy, which is cool to see Jeff Hardy in it. So, because he came in, was it November he came in? Was it sooner than that?
He had to take his break, didn't he, because of his.
Oh, he did, yeah. He was a night boy. John Silver, John Moxley, Jungle Boy, Kenny Omega, Chris Statlander, Lance Archer, Luchasaurus, Malachi Black, Matt Jackson, Miro, MJF, Nick Jackson, Nyla Rose, Orange Cassidy, Owen Hart, which is cool because it's the first time Owen Hart's been in a game since the early games. Pac, Paul Wright, Pentagon, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ray Phoenix, Ricky Starks, Rio. I was going to say Rhino then. Ruby Soho, Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky, Sting, Tay Mello, Thunder Rosa, Trent, Wardlow, and Yuka Sakazaki. Did I say that right? And then you got some DLC stuff. You've got if you pre-order the game, we're not sponsored by AEW Fight Forever, by the way, but if you pre-order the game, you can get Broken Matt Hardy and Normal Matt Hardy, and you can play the game a day early. A day early.
And you get the Hardy compound, I believe, as well.
Yes, you do.
Did I misread it? I was just saying, did I misread that? DLC as well. They've done the DLC packs now. I'm a bit. This is the one thing that has annoyed me with the announcement. FTR's a DLC pack.
FTR, Keith Lee, the Bunny, Danhausen and Hook, which I'm peed off about.
Danhausen and Hook I can understand because that'll make people buy it. But FTR's been in there since COVID 2020, so yeah, FTR should be in the game.
Hasn't Hook been in it since 2020, 2021?
Ish, but he's not a main player. So I put him in a pack with Danhausen and I can see that's to get that pack to sell. That's what FTR is the big one. FTR should not be a DLC.
No, FTR should. I don't think Keith Lee. So you've got FTR, then you've got Keith Lee and the Bunny, and then you've got Danhausen and Hawk, and obviously the pre-order. I don't understand why Jeff Hardy's in the game, but you've got to pre-order the game to get Matt Hardy. I don't get that.
I don't know. It's got mini games as well, which entertains me because I get bored of things pretty quick, and I like to pick up a mini game. I can probably play the mini games with like Zoe, or even like yourself, just pick up and play. Now I'm looking forward to it, and I was looking forward to the day they announced it because I've wanted to play the game where I could play as Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks for a very, very long time. They were on that. Is it Fighter Pro? It's a New Japan based one. It's like an arcadey one.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
it's on the PS Store subscriptions.
Yeah, it is.
Well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I did see some images of the graphics. I know we mentioned them last week as well. That the graphic doesn't look great, and then Eddie Kingston shared like a photo he's taken of a screen, and his character looked absolutely horrendous on it. But then I've seen
one going that way and one going that way.
Yeah, but I've actually seen footage of Eddie Kingston's character, and they actually look good.
So apparently, he took that photo and put it on Twitter, and apparently the developers went back and changed his face. Apparently, from what I've been told. So that's why when you look at new videos, it looks decent. CM Punk looks dodgy. I've seen CM Punk image, and he looks well dodgy, so you'll probably be happy about that. And it might be CM Punk just to annoy you.
Sure.
Match type wise, there's quite a few match types. That was the thing that fans always say about the 2K series is they've took out stuff like Buried Alive and which you had in the old 2K, the old SmackDown vs. Raw games and stuff. But you can have single, tag team, 3-way, 4-way. You have a ladder, casino battle royals in there, false count anywhere, unsanctioned lights out, exploding barbed wire death match because we only die in our life again.
I watched it the other day. I really watched that the other day. It was so good. It was so bad. It was so good, the ending.
You have the Fight Forever online mode matches, Fight Forever intergender matches, which is cool because I saw one of the YouTubers I told you about the other day. Told you about today, so he played Adam Cole versus, I think it was Rio, versus Chris Jericho versus somebody else. And you just kicking the shit out of each other, and it don't matter if you're a man or woman. It's sick.
Jade Cargill against Darby.
MJF, was it?
That one. I've seen the one Darby. Darby's got a skateboard, and he's riding around his skateboard, which
and anyone can do that.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
Grab it, that's cool. I like that. There's 40 weapons in there, which is 2K. You get table, chair, ladder.
Chair,
sledgehammer, baseball bat, kendo stick. I'm missing one, but there's 7, which is crap. And then as soon as you hit a wrestler, they start. Also on this game, you can hit them with a bottle of bubbly, which is cool. I really think is cool. And they start bleeding straight away, so it's perfect for John Moxley fans.
And the blood just doesn't sit on the face. It actually spills everywhere.
It is everywhere. Like I've got an image up now of Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, and there's literally blood everywhere. And I'm like, John Moxley's been in that match. But no, man, I'm looking forward to it. Like, obviously, we've always had 2K games, and the 2K games, they're okay. Like this year's is
take
good,
themselves too serious. But, so that's the thing that the marketing guys are trying to get across now with this is
it's not
the
WWE
games are wrestling simulator games now. That's basically what they are. They are wrestling simulator games. The creative side of it is so fast and so like it takes me nearly a whole day to create my pro when I'm doing stuff on that now. Because I'm so particular about it, and that's because we've done that for years. And the AEW guys trying to get across that this is a game that, and Kenny said it himself, I think, in the advert, or was it a video I watched him talking about it. This is a game they want to part there where, you know, you could pick up and play with your mates and they can play it. But if you want to so it's easy to pick up and play, but it's hard to master. And for me, I'm playing 2 WWE games for years and years, just like yourself. I know the buttons now. Even when they change the buttons, they don't change them that much. I know the buttons for the WWE games like the back of my hand. I would like to, and I'll probably get proven wrong if I went online, but I like to think of myself as quite a good WWE gamer because I've been playing it for so long. You know how to do this. You know how to get out of that. Going into this is a completely new game in the marketplace. The graphics are different. They're a little bit more animated. The matches are probably going to be a little bit more animated, but it's a nice welcome difference. Now, I'm also led to believe, and I don't know if you're aware of this isn't going to be a yearly game.
Oh, I did not know that.
Unless they change their mind. So this was billed to be a game that's going to be released that they're going to build upon yearly. So they're going to add stuff to it constantly to make it better. Along the lines of like what's the game now?
Madden.
Is it Madden? I don't know if it's Madden. No, I'm thinking
does
like
it.
These online games like World of Warcraft and stuff that you can be playing the same sort of mode, but there's packs that you can buy that add on to make it bigger. Grand Theft Auto for it. Grand Theft Auto 5 for an prime example. That is now we're in the 10th, 11th year of that, and they're still adding DLC.
Yeah,
we're not looking at
so that's the idea. Packs coming out soon, apparently.
Yeah, which that makes me happy because I go out and spend, and this is the reason I stopped playing FIFA, is you go out and spend 50, 60 quid every year on this game. 12 months later, new ones come out. You've either, so in the world of wrestling, you've got a couple of new wrestlers, probably improved the graphics, sometimes quite a lot, but a little bit. Matches don't really change. The game modes don't really change. I know we've had a few tweaks there, GM mode and stuff this year, but story mode, they're never here nor there now. It's same, and you're doing it every year. Where I'm quite looking forward to see how they build upon this. So the match cards, they don't have a lot of matches there, so they can add matches as they go. The roster can only get bigger through DLC packs. I can see them putting in at some point their own GM mode.
That'd be cool.
Then the story mode can only get bigger, so adding pay-per-views in via DLC packs like Forbidden Door, All In, All Out, whatever they haven't done. So if they stick to this, I'll be very happy, and I'm intrigued to see how to make it last as long as they do. It's going to get to, it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to put out another one because graphics are falling behind and stuff like that. But it's not meant to be a yearly game, which right now you can if you wanted to, but I can't afford to keep going out buying a game. It's literally just
Clanner.
Yeah, but literally because they've changed Kenny Omega's tights from green to purple. Yeah, that sort of thing. The Young Bucks have got the black gear on, but the new game they've got the grey and tiger print gear on. I mean that's for me. That's why I stopped playing FIFA. because the graphics weren't changing that much. The gameplay, as in the modes, neither haven't changed in years. You just get a new kit when the transfer's done. Where I can do the transfers myself. They actually do an update midway through the year where the transfer's done for you. So it's, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. So, question before we wrap things up. Out of everything, what is your best wrestling game you've ever played that you've had enjoyment non-stop out of?
You go first and give me time to think.
Oh, fucking hell, I was hoping you'd go. So when I go back and think about the wrestling games, Attitude comes straight away because it's the first one I ever played. It's the first time I met. I had real friends and proper friends because you always had the little friends that pretended you were mates and they weren't. And they all lived around us, so we all went to. I know you lot can't see on Spotify and on YouTube. You're thinking, what's he pointing at? But there's a house right at the end, and one of our friends used to live there, and her mum and dad was always out, and we used to sit at the PlayStation and just play Attitude all day. The other one that comes to mind is Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain. Them two. So Shut Your Mouth because of how many wrestlers was there, and you can jump off the fist, which I thought was absolutely cool. And then Here Comes the Pain because it was fun, man. You had like the Elimination Chamber got brought into it, and then you had Goldberg and Steiner got brought in. You could be Test again. It was all cool. Yeah. So them are probably the ones.
Here Comes the Pain is one that jumps to me because that was around the time obviously WWE bought out WCW, so we were getting say that DDP and stuff coming through. And I do remember it. I do remember it being very, very good. And I think I remember you had to play it, and you had to play it every storyline each way to unlock everything. And I did.
Yeah.
Without doing any cheat codes.
You did your own draft on Shut Your Mouth, didn't you?
Yeah. So I Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain. Yes, they jumped out, but I'm a big fan of the original SmackDown games. Because they were the original where you could fully get your customization. They were easy to play, and for me, I like the story mode where it just keeps going. And I think that's what's missing from the games now. It doesn't end. Granted, the story might start repeating itself, and then you could just create a new wrestling, do it, differently. So I'm a big fan of the SmackDown games, running up them. But I was also a big fan of the SmackDown vs. Raw games as well, because that's when they introduced GM mode properly.
2006.
Yeah. So I enjoyed them. But if I had to pick, it would be the SmackDown games, the original PS1s, PS2 ones. But yeah, I'd TNA. The TNA game doesn't get enough credit.
TNA game was ace. Doesn't get credit. It was so good.
another one that was made for you to just be able to pick up and play, and you didn't have to take it too serious like everybody was.
The X Division match on that was well good.
Mate, epic. Mate, the whole storyline where you were suicide, and the fact that they made Suicide into a wrestler,
actual character,
as promotion stuff. But yeah, no, the TNA game's great. I'm looking forward.
You know what else was good as well? All Stars.
I didn't rate All Stars.
All Star, I loved it. Pick up, and it was over the top. It was so good.
I think because I was
so much
in
fun
the
with
2K mode and the proper WWE games at that point, I think I didn't enjoy them games.
So for me, like we're looking at All Out, Fight Forever eras being a little bit different, arcadey, fun. For me, that's what All Star was. I loved it. You just pick it up, play, put it down, didn't too serious. And then go into the 2K game at the same time, and you can just do whatever you want on there.
Yeah, I think I was too deep in 2K then. I was But I think as well, just obviously before we go, I think they're taking a risk on the release date.
June 29th.
The same weekend as Money in the Bank.
Oh shit, it is as well. I didn't even fucking realise. Because I'm not going.
So this game needs to be on point from release date, because obviously the UK worldwide eyes are going to be on Money in the Bank that weekend. Because let's be honest, it trends number one across every platform.
Yeah, it's WWE.
Wrestling in general, the hashtag wrestling will be right for that weekend. The last thing AEW needs that game to be getting panned when WWE are doing the main event, because it's going to be, well, AEW or Fight Forever sucks, but at least I can watch Money in the Bank tonight. and you know what I mean. So they need to make sure it's on point for that release date. I'm only going to get about an hour or so of play on it because I think I'm.
Oh, then you go. Yeah, I'll be playing it out all week. Do you know what? As well, I've just realised because our holidays reset, don't they?
Yes.
So I booked off on the 1st of July for a week.
Yeah, it comes out on Thursday.
So it comes out on the 29th.
I'm working the Thursday.
I'm working Thursday, Friday, and then I've got a week off, so I've got a week to play it. Absolutely.
So I'll get a couple hours of play. But then it's something we come back to. Because we come back on the Sunday anyway. But yeah, it's I'm gonna pre-order it. I keep forgetting to do it. I've got a £5 voucher on my PS and rewards thing. So I'm not fine.
Yeah, the point of the stars thing, yeah.
Yeah, because I bought 2K.
Staying on to games. Yeah, no. Staying on to games for a minute. Just for a minute. The next WWE DLC pack, are you ready for what it is?
Oh, the DLC packs are horrible for 2K.
Next Wednesday. I mean, the last one was good. Last one you had Gallows Anderson, Pretty Deadly, and Tiffany Stratton. That was sick.
Pretty Deadly.
I've been playing with all of them. Pretty Deadly race, mate.
Yeah.
The next one, you've got Harley Race.
Right.
Random stuff. Ivy Nile, who's really good in NXT. Tony D'Angelo, who I don't rate in NXT. Trick Williams, who's the manager of Carmelo Hayes. And Wendy Chu, who's not been seen on TV in quite some time. And then you've got the Wyatt pack that comes out a month later with Blair Davenport, Bray Wyatt, Joe Gacy, Valhalla, and Zeus. And I'm looking forward to that one because I will get use out of 3 of them.
Yeah. I haven't played 2K probably in a while, so
I played it the other day.
I'm trying to clear games that I'm halfway through off, so I'm playing Arkham Gotham Knights.
Have you played Star Wars? The Star Wars game?
No, so this is it. So this might be a bit edit out on the YouTube channel, but it'll stay on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll probably stay on the YouTube channel. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm halfway through a lot of games. It's Star Wars. I've got the first Star Wars game to play. I've not played it. It was a freebie. Now I want to play that, and then I want to play the second one.
Yeah,
but then I also need space for Fight Forever as well.
How big's Fight Forever? Have they said?
No, but I have Gotham Knights. I'm nearly finished on now, I think.
Oh my god! You've actually spent time on Gotham Knights.
Good game. Really enjoying it.
It's
all right.
not. Okay.
Taking away that it's not the same as I did with Batman games. I'm halfway through the new Need for Speed, which I've really been enjoying. And I need to do. I need to move my GTA across onto my hard drive, but
I'm trying to find out how big the game is, but they've not released it yet. There is another wrestling game coming out, by the way, very soon. The Wrestling Code. Now, if you've not seen it, a couple of months ago, I said there was a wrestler that retweeted something I tweeted off our social media account on Twitter. If you're not following us, the Wrestling Fellas on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And it's just a load of random wrestlers thrown in. You've got the likes of Too Cold Scorpio, Alex Shelley, Alpha Female from Impact, Amazing Red, Angelina Love. You've got Cameron, who was in WWE, who's in it. Bronson Reed, because he's still been scanned for it. Connor from The Ascension.
Is that the one
Big
that's got
Sal and Big
Mori?
Vito. I think he is in it, yeah. Vito and Big Sal from well, I don't know who Big Sal was, but Big Vito, who was in WWE and ECW. Brian Cage is in it. Buff Bagwell, Bull Dempsey or Bull James, the Bushwhackers. Rest in peace, Bushwhackers. Who else is in it? It's dead random. Honestly, so many DDP's in it.
It's been coming for ages though. I don't.
Daphne, Dalton Castle, Danny Doring. Can't wait to play as Danny Doring. EC3, Eli Drake's in it. Elijah Burke, Eric Redbeard. There was someone I really wanted to say, and I can't find him. Hot Dog Starks, don't know who he is. JTG, Ken Shamrock, Kenny King. There's so many random people. It's mental. Lance Stop, Kurt Angle's in it. Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If it comes off, it could potentially be great.
Raven was sick.
it could steal a marketplace, but it's whether it actually comes off now. It's a different matter.
I really wanted to find out. Thunder Rose, isn't it? But yeah, it's another wrestling game, isn't it? Sorry, carry on. I just went on a map.
It's fine. But no, so looking at the time, it's time to wrap it up. So as usual at this point, this is where we go out and give you the sad music. We're not being followed on social media. It makes us sad. Don't cry, mate. It's fine. So
everything's going well, and you throw that up.
You watch this and you you're listening to this. Don't forget to go follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell, comment. Don't forget we're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Just go follow us. Let us know what your views are. Because we are getting all right views on YouTube as well. So if you're watching it on YouTube, for a start-up, mate, for starters, we're doing okay. Yeah.
That first one went mad. The rest didn't.
But if you're watching us, give us your comments if you listen to it. Tell us what you're doing. But yeah, go out there and hit it. And on that note, mate, till next time, peace out.
Sheesh.